Hare Krishna. Namagyātirthandasya jnānāñjana-shalakaya Chakshurunnitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatkaleshatare Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasati Gauravattam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna. We will try to discuss the concepts of time, the three very important understandings of time, which modern scientists they fail to know these things because their way of understanding time and Vedic way of understanding time, there is a great difference in that. We'll try to see why they make the mistake and why Vedic way of understanding is correct. Because whatever is Lord is manifesting the time, the controlling time, different times in relation to particular physical embodiments. It's Prabhupada explained it in the purpose of 3.10.10 also. Now, there are the questions is come. Please explain the workings of time within the material universe. Now, there are some definitions which science cannot give only. They don't know the answer. They cannot define what is time, they cannot define what is matter, they cannot define what is space, they cannot define what is consciousness, they cannot define what is energy also. Like there are many things which science cannot define. They don't understand it. And Vedas have explanations, and here also with the time. We can understand from reading that time is very different than the modern conception, what is given here in Bhagavatam. People, they don't know what is time. They can only tell what is the time. They have no clue exactly the time factor. That is, we will try to discuss this concept. Now, the word Kala means Kalayati. Kala also means which calculates. What it is calculating, this I have discussed also, just a revision for you. 2 days back I have told, and because I want to add some more things for it. And it's a revision because we'll tend to forget. Now, Kala means it is coming from the verbal root Kala. Kala means something which calculates. And there are different interpretations. The foremost is like one is it's Kala iti sarvam eti kalaha. This is the etymology that is given with the which is the meaning explanation of Shankaracharya and Vishnu Sahasranama he gives. And Kala is one of the thousands names of Vishnu also. Of course, Krishna himself tells his name in Bhagavad Gita also. There are multiple forms. And the first interpretation, Kala, is something which ends. This we have discussed. The first is Kala means something which ends. Which ends ends everything. First, this is the understanding. And also, there is another meaning. It's a force which ends to anything. And also, this is it like everybody is sooner or later puts to end. People are trying, even the great powerful demons, they also come to an end. They are not able to survive the effect of time. And another understanding of Kala is something which time for it appearance of some things. Some things are coming based on time also. There is creation, growth, development, and resultant action. All these things are also the factors of Kala. So we can say this is the first one. Second is creation, maintenance, and destruction. We can say not just destruction, even creation also comes. These are all the part of we can say the influence of time, growth, development, and resultant actions also. So this not just destruction, maintenance, growth, resultant action. All these things are effect of Kala. Now this is the force which is behind all the processes taking place in the material world, and how it is connected to Lord Shiva. Also, I'll explain. You say na. Sripada Mataji was about Kala Bhairava. This is a Vedic concept of time. Brahma Samhita also it is given the description. Right? It says that that the what really Kala is and how Lord takes the form of Kala. This is what is explained in Brahma Samhita, the shloka Kshiram Dadayati Vikara Visesha Yoga. And then another thing of Kala we understand is of where ninth chapter Krishna is saying Maya Dikshena Prakriti. So these are the two things to understand about Kala. Now from Brahma Samhita and Bhagavad Gita and many places Krishna is telling. When he is telling Maya Dikshena Prakriti, this is very important what he is telling, ninth chapter Bhagavad Gita. When he is explaining about everything is done under his supervision. So everything under Lord's supervision. Now this is what? This is actually Kala only. What is his supervision? His supervision is time. This is what we have to understand. And another thing we understand that basically the common conception of Lord, like everybody who's transcendental, they have nothing to do with this material world, every process. But here we see the eighth chapter of Bhagavatam, it describes the Kala as the glance of the Lord that we have seen in the previous chapter. This is another important. While trying to explain all the concepts, and then very important concept is this one, this ninth chapter, the glance of Lord. Glance of Lord is also Kala. Sorry. So the glance of Lord is also Kala. Now this is what is two important things. This how under his supervision, how the glance of Lord. These two are the little concepts which even modern scientists cannot understand, which we can explain it nicely. That means what happens is here this concept will understand what this does this Kala. Now when Lord is glancing, there is an equilibrium state of equilibrium. Now this state of equilibrium is called what? Pradhan. Now when Lord glances, when Lord is glancing on Pradhan, so Lord is glancing. So what happens? This is actually Kala. The glance is coming from the Lord's eyes. Now what happens here is this is also called Shambhu. Now, if somebody is talking about connection between Krishna and Shiva, they can take this topic also as a Kala topic. how they are connected. We'll see. Now, by the energy of this glands, what happens is, which is completely stable state. The, this makes everything, this is called impregnation. So Lord is impregnates. Now, what happens is the stable state, it becomes, which is Pradhan, it becomes Mahatattva. And then it has all these three modes. Now, these three modes, they start moving, they start operating because of this energy of Kala. Without that, there is no chance only. So, Kala makes these three modes to always, what do you call, change or move or activate. Now, this once the three modes are activated, then everything starts. And now, whatever is happening now, it is actually three modes only. And why the three modes are doing? Say now we say Kali Yuga. Now we are telling about Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga means what? This is activation of modes only. Activation of modes. And in activation of modes, what happened is Tamoguna became prominent. You're understanding? So, so here Tamoguna became prominent. So that is actually what is happening. So who is making it? Kala is making. That means who is responsible? So now the time factor, this Kala only is making the modes operate. That's why we have this four yugas. Simple. Any change that is happening in this world is because of whom? Because of Kala only. Change means what? Change means change means change of modes. Change of modes. And how these modes activate? Because of Kala. So it's a very simple understanding. This energy of Lord, that's why Krishna is telling Maya Dikshana Prakriti. He's not just telling some what do you say? Okay, it's happening. No, he's clearly explaining. This is the Kala energy. And every interestingly, we will try to understand self invigoratory energy Kala, Prabhupada tells us. It's when everything was in equilibrium, Kala was submerged within the Lord. So this energy submerged now. Then the Lord glanced, and this glance he impregnated the material world with all living entities also come to that glance only. And then what along with that, their karma also comes. And this karma accumulated in the previous life. This action throws all the modes of nature out of equilibrium. So they were already equal, but it starts moving. And so this energy of Kala is energy which moves the modes, and which is not understood by the, of course, modern scientists, because they don't understand the three modes. It is not undifferentiated media in which the events takes place. No, this is the modern concept. Modern feels that it's an undifferentiated media in which all the things are happening. But in reality, it is exactly what the Kala is dividing everything. That's why the divisions of time. Kala has divisions. Kala is manipulating the modes. You're understanding. And therefore, each and every moment or friction of time is saturated with different modes of this unique combination. So this is a very important understanding. So every moment, or fraction of time is saturated with so unique combination of three modes. 。 Combination of three modes. Hope you are understood till now. This is a very simple concept. How the time is affecting everything here. This is the energy. Now, how the time manipulates this material world, how Krishna controls this material world through this minutest, very precise manipulation of modes of nature. Therefore, every moment of time is different. Now, when we are sitting here, so many things are taking place around you. Why? Simple, modes of nature. We don't have any control of it. Maya Dikshena Prakriti. Krishna is so clearly telling whatever you are seeing around, I am only manipulating. Very, very precise way Krishna is manipulating. And even the slightest difference of influence upon our mind, it also takes place because of influence of Kala. Now, early morning, it has influence on our mind. The modes are influencing. The time is influencing us. Afternoon, it's different. Night is different. That means this effect of this modes is because of Kala, right? And the modes are affecting you. That means who is affecting? The Kala is affecting. We are just changing the modes. So simple. And it affects differently. Now, the modes affect every activity. Is modes, right? And because of time. Now it affects our mind also. And based on the receptivity. Now I am affected in a particular way based on a particular time. If a person is tamoguna, he will not like early morning. If a person is in rajoguna, he will like some other time. That means based on our mind, the time has influence. Now, now some people must be sleeping now. Some people must be awake now. Some people must be dreaming. Some people must be doing some activities. Now we are doing Bhagavatam like that. That is influence of time. Now, very important point to understand. This last time also discussed. This is every moment of time is different. This is according to the modes of mental nature, and sometimes certain events takes place. Like uh, now, so there are three factors for any activity. This we have discussed. Anything is clear for you till now? And before I go next, hope it is clear. So first is desire. Second is three. Second is the yes, Marcus.
Namaste, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Alex.
Prabhuji, so in this Kala, all the three modes are going on, not only one mode. Every mode is going on
Yeah, yeah. It is influencing all the three modes.
at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. But the influence will be different. Now, as sattva is reducing, prajoguna is increasing now, and tamoguna is little less. But all the time, all the modes are there. But some has more power, some has less power. In Kali Yuga, tamoguna, rajoguna has more power compared to sattva like that. So three modes, they sattva and rajas and tamas. They have different effects. So Kali Yuga, this is very less, but these are very, very prominent in Kali Yuga. That's why people are mostly in Tamoguna and Rajoguna. That is the Kala. That is time is making Rajoguna more stronger now. Clear? Now, another important thing here is three things I told. Any action, there are three things. Now, the here, here material nature or material laws and karma. So these three things. Now, the third factor is kala. So this is very important factor. People understand. These two are easy to understand. Say I gave the example of I wanted to write a book. Now example is write a book. I want to write a book. The first thing I need is a desire. Okay, I got a desire to write. Second is not I need skills. I need skills, facilities, and then I need sufficient karma also. Right? I need to have that. Okay, it is there that in your according to your karma you can write a book, and according you are given proper skills, and then the laws of nature are there, which are all proper. These are all laws of nature. Now, unless the time comes, I will never be able to write the book. Even if I write, also I cannot print the book. So many obstacles will come. Why? Time didn't come only. So something else also, man. And why now only who will become prime minister? Who will become the rich person? Who will become poor person? Everything is uh, given here. This is the point. Everything is decided because of time factor, which people don't understand. They think, oh, we are trying, but it does not work. Yeah, it will not work unless time comes. This is very simple formula. A very important factor what takes place, and the important factor is time factor. And we use this word time. Time is not good. Time is good. And time and this is what is this loss of nature. Everything is there, but time says yes. Now it's a time for doing. It will work. Why the degradation is taking place in this way? Because time. Why Prabhupada could preach, others could not preach? It's time. So time favors. Sometimes demigods they are winning. Sometimes demons they win. And when demigods they go and pray and to Brahma, Brahma says, not time. This is not your time. You might have heard this many times. This is not the time. When time comes, when they go and pray to Lord Vishnu, Lord says, when the time comes, everything will happen. Now we'll come to this Brahma Samhita point where Kshiram dadayati vikara visesha yoga sanjayate nahi tata pratigasti. Here, what is explained is when you add some vikara, the milk and yogurt, we'll come to. Hope till now it is clear. These three concepts. Any questions, comments before I go to Brahma Samhita? This is little more technical. What, how Lord is Lord in the material world, he comes as Shambhu. And this is also called Kala. This is another understand. Of Kala, we also call Maya, but here, with the glance of the Lord, in this context, it is Kala. But this is clear for all of us, the time factor. Now, this also it is little technical, but it is easy to understand. Now, what is the analogy that is given? Milk and curd. Milk and curd. Now, both are same, they have same origin, same family, but both have different opposite qualities. Now, this is the problem here. Like curd, it is it It has a completely different properties. Milk has completely different properties. One is heavy to digest, one is easy to digest, and one is hard, one is cold. So there are some there. The same thing when the Lord, the there is how it forms. Govindamadi Purusham Tam Bhaja. When it comes in contact in the agent of Tamoguna, this what is the agent? This is of course the agent is Durga Devi. Let's say the Chiram iti dada the Vikara Vishesh. That Vikara is Durga Devi. Lord Shiva comes in touch with Durga Devi. Krishna does not come in touch. Of course, Lord's desire only. The transcendental Lord is unlimited, is Ananta. Now, so now we'll come to this point. Now, even though both are there, they have different qualities. So, what happens when the Lord in the spiritual world is unlimited, but the same energy comes here to material world, it makes what? Limited. Opposite qualities, now. Unlimited should become limited here. Yeah, Durga Devi is Maya Devi. She is wife of Lord Shiva. So, Lord in the spiritual world, when it comes to touch in the form of Shambhu, metal world, it makes things limited. Say in the spiritual world, love is what? In the spiritual world, love is unlimited. But metal world, love is limited. So this is the main difference. The difference is what happens to the time vector. This is what is coming, makes everything limited here, which is exactly opposite in the spiritual world. Vaikuntha, every life is eternal there. Here it is temporary. Love which is in the heart of all living entities is eternal. Everything is. Now I cannot eternally love somebody because after this life I'll enter into another body. Then I cannot love the people whom I am loving here. And whom I loved in previous life, I don't know who are they. I don't love them. That means it is like some Vaikuntha means something without limits, without obstacles. Vaikuntha is everything is unlimited. Life is eternal. Love, which is in the heart of all living, it is also eternal. But that Lord, unlimited Lord, turns into Shambhu. Then the aspect of limitedness comes, or the minuteness. That is actually time. Therefore, the time is puts limits to everything, which is a limiting factor. So limitedness or minuteness is added to the form of Lord, and that minute fraction of Sat, Chit, and Ananda energy is added to this, and that's a very that's Lord turns into Shambhu. He actually connects with material energy as a time factor. Therefore, the glance of Lord takes place as Shambhu, and Shambhu is this aspect. You are able to understand more. It is the ruling over material nature of unlimited factors or colors. Who is ruling? Ruling is done by Lord Shiva. Okay. He is ruling. So that's why we say for our body, mother and father is Shiva and Parvati. For the soul, mother and father is Krishna and Radha. Because he is controlling and ruling everything here, the time factor. Now we will come to some other things which are explained in Bhagavatam. Of course, this is also Bhagavatam part one. Any questions, comments? Maitreya Vacha Charma Sat विशेषाणाम् अनेको संयुतः सदा परमाणु स विज्ञेयो नृणा ऐक्यब्रह्मणो यतः. The material manifestation is ultimate part, which is indivisible and not formed into a body, is called atom. It exists always in an invincible identity, even after the dissolution of all forms. The material body is but a combination of such atoms that it is misunderstood by the God. Now, here, when matter is explained, matter must be what? What element matter means? It is earth. This is earth element. So, earth element derives from what? Water, and that is from fire, air, ether. And this is coming from where? False ego in ignorance. False ego in ignorance. And this is coming from where? Mahatattva. Now, this is very subtle. This is subtle. And whereas ether is also very subtle. Now, when we call earth, water, fire, air, it's already I explained previously also. We'll just read the purport and I'll come to the point of explaining these five elements. The atomic description of Srimad Bhagavatam is almost same as the modern science of atomism. And this is further described in the Paramanuvada of Canada. In modern science also, atoms are accepted as the ultimate indivisible particles of which the universe is composed. Srimad Bhagavatam is a full text of all descriptions of knowledge, including the theorem of atomism. The atom is a minute substance form of eternal time. Now, this is when you call earth. Say, if I take hydrogen. Now, hydrogen according to us is what? Air. But it is not air according to Vedas. Hydrogen is a particle. In this, all five things are there. So the electron part, the nucleus part, the nucleus part is what is earth. Now there is the what do you say? The nucleus. So the nucleus part in an atom, nucleus part, this is actually earth part. Now it is holding each other. Nucleus, there are protons and neutrons. Now that binding force. So there is some sort of bond that is actually water. It is holding. There is some liquid substance. Liquid. And the energy that is holding. Energy is fire. And this is actually we use making nuclear. What you do, you break the proton. Immediately the energy is released. And that is what is fire. And now it has some movement. And this is because of air. And it has certain area which it is moving. This is space. This is ether. So this is actually what is to be understood. So it's within hydrogen you have all five elements. According to us, hydrogen is air, but it is not actually the way to understand. The way to understand is that all these five elements. Now, when we talk Anu, and this is talking about the nucleus part, we can say in one line. So, which is the smallest part. Clear? Now, this particle is actually what according to Anu, which is the air part. And now, how it is formed? This is in a subtle way because it is coming from where? It is from the space. That means from ether comes air, air comes fire, fire comes water, the earth. And this is very subtle. And then that means what? From subtle comes gross. Comes. So this is the procedure that happens. And that is what actually it is explained here also. The smallest, which is indivisible and not found within the body, is called atom. Not formed into a body. So subtle because it's all coming from subtle. And that's what it Sat eva pradeshya swarupavasthitasya vat kaivalyam param mahan avishesho nirantara. Atoms are the ultimate state of manifested universe. If when they stay in their own form without forming different bodies, they are called the unlimited ones. There are certain different bodies in physical forms, but the atoms themselves form the complete manifestation. This is a subtle form, it comes to this level, comes to a atom level, very, very minute first. And evam kalopi anumitaha saucham nye stalu echa saptama samsthana bhutva bhagavan avyakto vyakta vibhudu. One can estimate time by measuring the movement of atomic combination of bodies. Time is the potency of Almighty Personality of Godhead Hari, who controls all physical movements, although is not visible in the physical world. Now, very interesting. So now, why matter is explained? When we want to explain about time, we want to explain about time, right? Now, why matter is explained? Because we cannot understand time. We can only understand by its action only. We can understand time by action. Now, what is the action that this time is doing? What you remember? Time is that action of time is what? It moves everything. It is moving. What it is moving? The three modes. And the three modes are actually forming this matter only. The tamoguna is forming the matter. It's a movement. That's what is explained here, matter is explained. So how the time is moving matter. So one can estimate the time. So this is what one can estimate time by measuring the movement of atomic combination of bodies. So we can only estimate by the movements. Your understanding. Time is the potency of the Almighty Personality of Godhead, Hari, who controls all physical movements. So what they do? They control all physical movements. It is not visible in the physical world. It makes the everything moving. You cannot understand it. It's some energy which makes everything. And that is energy is Shambhu. Clear. That is Kala. This is actually what need to be understood here. That's why instead of telling what is matter, you are telling what it does. Because to understand it's not directly, we tell this is what Kala does. It's a control physical. Sakala paramanu vai yogum te paramanuta sato vishesha bhutyastu sakala paramo mahan. Atomic time is measured according to its covering a particular atomic space. Now, Now you first is told it makes changes. Now how to measure it then? Okay, now it is making change. Can you measure it? Yes, we can measure it. How to measure it? You can measure according to it's covering a particular time space. The time which covers the unmanifest aggregate of atoms is called a great time. Now, how much it makes some moment are the time and space are two correlative terms. Time and space. Time is measured in terms of its covering certain space of atoms. Standard time is calculated in terms of movements of sun. The time covered by sun in passing over an atom is calculated as atomic time. Now, because we cannot understand what directly is time, we are measuring, but we can measure time. Now also that's only we do. No? Say what is the time? We say it's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So we can measure. But the measurement is not what is modern versus, but scientific measurement is movement of sun. Now the sun's rays, they are passing. Now when the sun is moving, it is atomic particle. Now this atomic particle, this movement of sun, that means sun is not at one place. It is moving. How much time it takes to cross what? The atomic particle. The time covered by sun in passing over an atom is calculated. This is, we only calculate time, we cannot tell an atomic time. The greatest time of all covers the entire existence of non-dual manifestation. All the planets rotate and cover space, and space is calculated in terms of atoms. Now, the greatest, that means time and atom, that's what it is. Time and space are two correlative terms. It's very interesting, right? Very time and space looks both different. What is connection between space and time? Because the measurement of time is through the space. That's why it's connected. The greatest of all, the greatest time of all covers the entire existence of non-dual manifestation. That means that much time it takes. All the planets rotate, and this is the greatest time. No? This is actually the creation of Mahavishnu, and that will be 411 years, 40 billion years, or whatever. 311. All the planets rotate and cover space. Okay. And the space is calculated in terms of atoms. Each planet has its particular orbit for rotating in which it moves without deviation. And similarly, the sun has its orbit. The complete calculation of time of creation, maintenance, and dissolution, measured in terms of circulation of the total planet system until the end of creation, is known as supreme calm. And with the creation till destruction, that is supreme calm. Basically, we are connecting time with what? We are connecting time with space. How? Space means you have an atom which is taking some space. So now the sun's rays is covering. The sun is here now. Now sun is here. Now the sun covered this much space to cover this much atom. So what is the movement of sun from this point to this point? Because this is where the atom is there. Of course, it's so small. From this point to this point. This is the space. So the time took for the sun to cross this much space is actually calculated as time. Clear? This is atom. And now the time took from the beginning of creation and end of creation. So this time is what? This is called as supreme kala. Anurtyau paramanu syat trishena straya smitaha jalakrasamya avataha kam evanupatanam nagat. The division of gross time is calculated as follows. Two atoms make one double atom. Now everything is told about space only here, but it is calculating time also. Because now we have understood. So the sun is taking to cross from this point to this point is called time. Now instead of one atom, you pick two atoms, three atoms, four atoms. Then the size will increase. Size will increase means time increase. So that's another. The division of gross time is calculated as two atoms make one double atom. So that's why what is explained here is atoms only. So when you are telling about matter, you are also talking about space. Why? Because it occupies certain space, right? The movement of sun we have seen from this point to this point, the sun moves. This is actually what is calculated as time. Now that's why now if you tell more and more atoms, we are explaining more and more space and then more time. The three double atoms make one hex atom. The hex atom is visible in the sunshine, which enters through the holes of a window screen. One can clearly see that the hex atom goes up towards the sky. The atom is described as invisible particle, but when six such atoms combine together, they are called Tishrenu, and that is visible in the sunshine pouring through the holes of window screens. We'll take Trishreno Trikam Bhunte Ihkalasa Triti Smitaha Sadbhagastu Vedasyat Taistrivistu Labha Smitaha. The time duration needed for integration of three Shrenos is called a Truti, and 100 Truti makes one Veda, and three Vedas make one Lava. It is calculated that if a second is divided into 1687.5 parts, each part is the duration of a Trishreno, which is the time occupied in the integration of 18 atomic particles. Such a combination of atoms into different bodies create the calculation of material time. The sun is the central point for calculating all different durations. निमेषस्त्रिलभो ज्ञेय आत्मानस्ते त्रयक्षणः कृष्णा पञ्चविदो साष्टा लघु लघुता दोषपाञ्चैच्छा. The duration of time of three lovers is equal to one nimesha. The combination of three nimeshas make one kshana. Five kshanas combined together makes one kashta, and 15 kashta makes one lagu. Prabhupada writes, by calculation it is found that one lagu is equal to 2 minutes. The atomic calculation of time in terms of Vedic wisdom may be converted into present times with this understanding. So the problem with the scientists is Now, how they could know such minutest things? That is a question. We'll discuss on it. Any questions, comments till now? Thank you, everyone.